Good morning. My name is Jeff Key. I'm a member of the Palos Heights City Council, and one of the responsibilities that I have as a City Council member is I'm the representative on the BEAC, which is the Business and Economic Advisory Committee. And with me this morning are Haley Hegg and Sandeep Vera, who are both from Trinity College. And in a few seconds, they're going to be sharing with you a relatively new component of the business department at Trinity called Fusion 59. But before we get there, I'd like to just talk a little bit about a relationship that Trinity has with the city of Palos Heights that maybe you at home aren't aware of. The first thing is, for really the last 8 years or so, we've been working with the business department in that the seniors, I believe, had a class where they needed to do some projects, and we tasked them in the past. I think it was a little less than you guys are doing right now, but we would give them an idea or a challenge, something that they had to think about, research, develop an answer to a problem. And so some of the things that we worked on in the past were, like we have a trail that goes through town. It actually goes from Lamont, hopefully one day, all the way to Burnham Harbor, Calsag Trail. And 10,000 people use the trail every month. And so we tasked Trinity students with saying, how would you get those 10,000 people to know more about Palos Heights as they go through here and maybe come and use our restaurants, maybe use our businesses, use the bike shop in town. So the students looked at the trail, how to do some advertisement there to help fund maybe repair of the trail and stuff. And another project we did was to take a look at our Chamber of Commerce, compare it to other Chamber of Commerces, because in today's business environment, businesses are changing. Not everyone wants to be part of a Chamber of Commerce anymore, or they're struggling financially. So how do we get new members to join? How do we work in this new environment together as a community, a business community? And so the students took a look at that. And so we've had some interesting projects they've done, and we've really appreciated. They kind of did some footwork for us. Mm-hmm. One of the projects was if we would rebrand Palos Heights, how would we do that, and what would the benefits be? And so the students took a look at, what is there about Palos Heights that is unique? And one of the things is we're 12,500 people, but we have a college in town, mm-hmm. Trinity Christian College, and we have a hospital in town, and we have a nature center, a botanical garden. So we use those kind of foundational things as a branding stepping stone. And so the students did that. Another thing that we do with Trinity is called Welcome Back. And so the way Welcome Back works is the Business Economic Advisory Committee goes out and they get some of our local businesses to offer discounts to Trinity students and their families, and it launches on the day that the freshmen move in. So in September, on the day it's move-in day, mm-hmm. we get restaurants to come and provide food for the students and their families. And the college does a beautiful job of getting helpers that come with shopping carts and move the kids into the dormitories, and then so they can eat. Usually there's someone there from Lake Catherine, there's someone there from the rec department, there's someone there from the police department in the past who've done that, and economic development, and we share things that are happening in town so that the students and the families can come into town and utilize those things. And then we feed them, and it's a nice opportunity on day number one, because it's usually a busy weekend for the kids. Yeah. And we do an interview with Channel 4. We interview the president.
Dykstra.
So we interview him and the mayor, and we talk about the fact that both Trinity College was founded and Palos Heights was founded both in 1959, mm-hmm. and maybe some of the challenges that the college is facing, or new programs that are starting, gives us an opportunity to bring those elements into the homes of our residents, and so it's an active relationship between Trinity and Payless Heights. So, and then a relatively new thing is Fusion 59, which is part of the business department at Trinity. So before we actually get into the details of what Fusion 59 is, Haley, why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself, about your history, about your relationship with Trinity.
Sure. So I went to Trinity my freshman year of college. That was about 5 years ago now. I am a Trinity alumni as of about a year and have been working at Trinity as the co-director of Fusion 59 with Sandeep. And we've done a lot of great things, as we'll get in and talk about with Fusion 59, our innovation hub, some consulting efforts that we have contributed to, working with the community and the chamber here. But it has been a pleasure to kind of work for my alma mater and just continue to give back to the community, give back to Trinity, and just have a lot of involvement through this Fusion 59 Center. It's been fantastic, and Trinity's a great place. Go Trolls! So excited to be working for them now after graduation.
One of the interesting things that I found in working with the business department there is our committee. It has been informed when you guys have business speakers come in.
Yeah.
And so some of the committee members have taken advantage of that and sat and listened to presentations by, some of them are former, they're alumni of Trinity Christian, and others are just coming in and giving a business presentation. I've really enjoyed those. And also, because we do have that relationship, we've come in for some of the business presentations by the students, and I told you before when we were just chit-chatting that I heard your presentation with your team, and those are very interesting for me because in my private life I was a teacher for 45 years, so I enjoy seeing student presentations. I kind of know what goes in the background of that, and so that's been fun. Sandeep, why don't you share your journey to get to Trinity and your relationship now and what your responsibilities are?
Sure. I'm actually a new member of Trinity. I'm a new faculty member for the last year and a half. I joined 2 months before COVID. So my experience has been, unfortunately, in these very difficult situations. Prior to that, I was actually a professional working in various areas of the marketplace, particularly focused on the investment management side. And I've been really enjoying the exposure I've had as a professor at Trinity. At Trinity, we get a lot of abilities to actually innovate and create new programs for the community, for our students. I'm actually currently the director of Fusion 59, so I really appreciate the opportunity to talk about it. I'm also director of data analytics, which is something which we're just launching at Trinity Christian College. The markets, as we all know, is really centered on data now, and so as Trinity trying to get ahead of the marketplace, we're introducing this as a program and a major for our students to focus on.
So when Trinity first brought to us the concept of Fusion 59, it's actually been several years.
Yes.
But unfortunately, COVID, it seems like put a halt to all of our lives. It's like boom, it's like pre-COVID, post-COVID. And so when Trinity actually introduced it, it's actually been a few years now, but there's seemed to be like this hole in it now. So let's revisit, so share with us what exactly Fusion 59 is, because we've heard it described from the city side in several different ways, but maybe talk about the inception of it. What does it do? Who's involved? Is it businesses? Is it students, alumni? Who exactly is that, and what is it?
Sure, I'll add some, and Haley can add to that. Basically, Fusion 59 is an innovation center. It's a innovation center for students across the entire Trinity campus. It's campus-wide. We found that the business students are particularly more connected to Fusion 59 because they're offering skills which the community members are often in need of. So you talked about the projects which they were doing in the class. That's an example. Fusion 59 in some ways is a bridge between students who have resources and knowledge and information and community members who have needs and business needs. And Fusion 59 is able to connect the two. We have speakers, as you mentioned, who come in as well. And Fusion 59 is a place where speakers can be part of sharing their information. Oftentimes, speakers are giving very interesting talks, and community members can be part of that as well. So we'd like to see more connection between Fusion 59 and the community of Palos Heights.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so what's interesting is my history with the business owners in town
Yeah.
has been very similar to my own life. As you know, I'm in my 60s, and so technology, social media platforms, using those types of things in the business world are unfamiliar to me. I was a teacher. I wasn't, it wasn't part of my business, if you will. But I know that small businesses in town, that I struggle with that. The idea of using social media as advertising or reaching out, getting new customers, or saying, what's going on in their businesses. And so I think this is a real need in Palos Heights for our small businesses that might be struggling with the tech side of the business and in the data that you're talking about.
Yeah.
How does that data collection affect the bottom line of my business or my ability to stay open or reach new customers and that kind of thing? So if we look at the literature that I've seen on Fusion 59, kind of is broken down into three aspects that I've seen. The first one is a social media consulting team, and then the second is the social media class, and finally the organizational business consulting class. And so maybe you guys could talk a little bit about what those three aspects are, who can participate, is there a cost involved?
Sure.
And let's go down there.
Sure. I can go ahead and start with kind of explaining a little bit about Trinity's consulting team. That came into be about 3 years ago, I would say. My now fiance and I, with the professor, decided that we wanted to start serving the community through business students' skills that we had and that we could give back to the community. So we started that about 3 years ago through the Fusion 59 Hub that was brand new. And over the years, it has transitioned into a very great initiative where we are able to help 5 businesses every semester. So that is their fall semester and spring semester of college for the students. And then we also have started this past year doing it over the summer. So we've been able to serve 15 businesses, specifically in the Palos Heights community, every year. And it's been absolutely wonderful to see how we can help them grow their social media presence, gain people that are interested in their business and want to see what they're posting. We've helped them with web development, just capturing images and photos and videos for promotional use for their businesses, conducting interviews with their business owners, and just really helping spread the awareness of their business through the social media consulting. And then we're also providing students at Trinity experience that they can put on their resume and take with them to future careers after their college education. So it's been mutually beneficial for the students at Trinity, but also the community of Palos Heights. There is a cost involved. We work with the business owners. We have several different packages that they can choose from to see what their needs are, if they need more photos, or if they need a website developed, or strictly social media. We have several different things that we can do on the consulting team. It is all students on the team, about 7 or 8 students, mostly in their junior and senior year. Like Sandeep was mentioning, it's really varied across majors. So we have students that are in graphic design, students that are studying English and have really great writing skills, students that are in business and marketing and entrepreneurship. So it's a great way to really bring the campus together and then bring the community together as a whole.
So once again, you just described, is that the...
That's the Trinity's social media consulting team.
Okay. So
Yes.
one of the things that I was just shocked when we were meeting the people involved in Fusion 59 at its launch, where a couple of graduates of Trinity were actually helping, like Haley is now. And they were actually while at Trinity, were already doing entrepreneurship and running businesses while they were students. And one of the gentlemen had done that in high school and was running a business. And I was totally in shock about that because like when I was in college and high school, I was trying to get on with the rest of my life because things were different back in 1974. And so it was eye-opening for me to see what's going on campus, because like this platform, Fusion 59, you have students who are already in the business world, not just learning about business, they're part of it already. So to be able to bring some of those people into this consulting arena can really be a benefit to small businesses.
Definitely. And whenever I was on the consulting team a few years ago, I had my own business. There was 2 other students that also had their own businesses, and we were able to collectively bring our skills in and really impact other businesses. And it's the same thing. Every year we have at least 2 students that are on the team that are running their own business, operating, working with clients on their own. So they have skills that are really awesome that they can share and give to the community through these projects, and it's very awesome.
Nice.
You know, the thing I find in the marketplace today is that the market is changing dramatically.
Yes.
You really need to get the word out, and COVID has taught us something in this regard. COVID has taught us that when things change, we have to, as business owners, community members, change as well. In the last probably 16 months, we've been working with these businesses which Haley's talking about, and it's been incredibly beneficial to use social media to reposition your business, to find new customers, to get reviews and ratings through social media connections, to be able to develop your website. So getting the word out on a technology basis, I think, becomes an essential part of business today.
Yes.
Definitely.
And I mean, I've noticed that as well, is that I'll just use Facebook right now. It's a little social media platform that we're all familiar with. But a lot of the restaurants on a daily basis now, where they weren't prior to COVID, because there was a long period of time where no one could go actually into the restaurant, but you could carry it out. So every day they post their menu for that day on social media, and it gave them a way of reaching out to the community and getting their businesses out there. And hey, I'm still open. We can still provide meals, and really something in a very good way that I noticed in terms of doing ministry too is some of these restaurants that were struggling were also sending meals to the fire department or the police department or to the nurses at the hospital, and people that were on the front lines of dealing with COVID, and so that was very interesting. So there is an aspect of what you guys do with that there is no money involved. That just is you're looking at maybe just recently we're trying to arrange something with like Lake Catherine.
Yes.
And so share about that program, what you do.
Sure. So just to recap what Haley's talking about, social media program, which is what we call the consulting team, has a small charge to it, very subsidized. The social media consulting class is a new program we're going to launch, which will also have a small charge.
Okay.
But students who are going to be doing this are going to actually get college credits.
Oh, nice.
So they're not only going to help the community members and doing social media campaigns, but they're going to get college credits. So what we actually envision is a much higher demand from both sides, from community members and from students who are interested in participating.
Yes.
And the third bucket, which you speak of, is the consulting class. This is free, no charge. It's exactly the same program which you talked about in the beginning of this conversation, where for the last 10 years we've been running what's called a organizational consulting class, and that's what I teach actually. And these are for seniors who have actually spent the last 4 years of their life understanding every aspect of kind of theoretical business, marketing, finance, accounting, and are now ready to put those skills to practical use. And we are looking for as complex projects as possible, you know. Why? Because these students have 3 months to engage. That's all they do. We break them into teams of 5. And these 5 students, typically one is a marketing student, one is a business student, one is a finance student, and so on. They work directly with clients, and they are solving problems for them. They are identifying what the issues are. The problem could be the business wants to reinvent itself. There has to be a new strategy in place. They'll do that. Or a new market the business wants to enter, or a new product they want to launch. So any aspect of a business which is kind of fairly complex, they will be willing to jump in. One example is last year we had a particular client, SCT Environmental, who had 20,000 data entries in an app, and they were able to pull through all those data entries and identify patterns and give some recommendations. So there's a lot of different ways these students can get engaged. It's a semester-run program. It starts, in fact, every fall, so it'll start in September. And if there are community members who have businesses and are interested in engaging students at no cost, this is a great way to get involved.
Sure. And there's so many different aspects of running business. Like, for instance, I know that Quality Plus Photo, who has a business right on Harlem in the business district,
use that.
Work with your students.
Yes.
And one of the and they just loved the participation in it. And I remember one of the aspects that they had was when their students came in, they arranged to have students that are not part of the team come in and just come into their store, experience the store, and then give feedback. You know, how did you feel about it? Or, you know, and they actually changed the way of the layout of the store.
Okay.
Because they're now seeing it through the lens of a younger client, of a different business model client, you know, and so they really appreciated the new look at things.
That's wonderful to hear.
Yes, and really everyone that we've spoken to afterwards has talked in high regard of their participation with Fusion 59 and the students there.
That's great.
And so, you know, kudos to Trinity for not only starting this initiative, but also, you know, we live in a different business world now.
Yeah.
So it's exciting that the students who are going to school at Trinity are getting, you know, cutting edge problem solving tools. And because we don't live in the world that we did even, you know, 15 years ago or 10 years ago. And so that's exciting.
Yeah. We really appreciate the partnership which we've had with the community of Palos Heights. It is a college town. It is a town where we'd like to see a lot more participation from our students and from our community members, both sides coming together. We would love to hold presentations, what we call Pitch Night, which is another Fusion 59 initiative, where community members can be judges or part of panels.
Sure.
Yes.
They can be involved with giving talks to students. So we would love to have students and community members engage. And one of the things I would say in this conversation is to have community members reach out to us. We have our emails, and they can reach out to us and just engage in dialogue with us. And I'm sure we'll find a way for them to get much better engaged with our students.
Yes.
So while a couple of your programs of Fusion 59, there is money involved, but just so the business owners know, thanks to the generosity of the Beautification Committee, which is part of the Palos Heights, they actually have a grant program.
Wonderful.
Because part of their founding articles of the Beautification Committee is to build the business community here in town. So it's not just about making sure that, you know, the facades of the businesses and the flower pots are out, and, you know, they run the classic car event that just happened last week.
Yeah.
And so they do those things, but they also are trying to build the business community. And so there is a little bit of a grant money available for businesses. So if there's a need there, we can provide that as well. So Haley, maybe talk a little bit about the Trinity website.
Sure.
And how they could access getting a hold of you.
Yep.
So if there's a business out there that wants to participate in the future, how can they do that?
Yes, so that's great. So you can actually go to Trinity's website. It's trnty.edu. And then we have our own page on Trinity's website, Fusion 59, where you can find out about all of our initiatives that we are currently doing. The consulting team, we have a few different clubs, speaking engagements, some of the things that Sandeep was mentioning as well will all be listed on that page. My email is listed below, haley.heg@trnty. And you can email me there to find out more information about how you can get involved with the consulting team. Sandeep is also someone that you can reach out to and find out some more information as well. But a lot of information is on our website of how you can be involved with Trinity, our students, and our initiatives.
That's great. And you know, a few years ago, the Business and Economic Advisory Committee was doing a project where we wanted to cross-market all the different entities in town. Lake Catherine and the hospital,
Sure.
The city, the rec center. And so we have a monthly newsletter that goes out. And it talks about the activities that are happening here in town, at the rec center, at the library, at Trinity. So, you know, at Christmas time when you guys are having a concert, we're advertising that, you know, we're cross-marketing each other. And that made me go to the hospital website and kind of explore a little bit. And it made me go to Trinity's website and explore a little bit. And it excited me because one-fourth of the residents in Palos Heights are senior citizens. And so just as an example, if you go to Trinity, which once again is TRNTY, no I's in there, trnty.edu. If you were to go to the menu, which is that on the very top left of the screen on their webpage, which is the 3 lines going across, and you hit that, you can hit a thing called Explore Trinity, and then when you go there, you can see a thing called Senior Learning. There are classes that our seniors would love to participate in, and they're very reasonably priced.
Yes.
And it's right here in our neighborhood, available for everyone to participate in. Sure. And I would never have really known that if I hadn't gone and explored your website. So, you know, I love doing that. And so, is there any other way that people can reach out? And I know that if there's a business or an individual that wants to find out more about Fusion 59, they can call our business development staff person is Ken Bussey, and his phone number is 708-480-3072. And if you were to call the city and either the front desk or Ken's phone number, with which I just gave you, we can somehow get you to the Trinity website or get you connected with Sandeep and Haley and do that as well. Is there anything else you'd like to add this morning to?
No, I really thank you for your support. I thank you for the welcome back and the work you all do from the community there. And I really would encourage us to have more interactions like this and really appreciate your support, Jeff.
Well, I want to say thank you to Haley and Sandeep for joining us this morning. I'd like you to thank you at home for watching, and everyone have a blessed week.
Have a good one.
Thank you.